right? So okay. There is a season for everything. So maybe right now you're in a season that you have to work with certain people that maybe you don't really care about too much. But one thing that corporate has taught you, if you worked in corporate before, is how to work with people that you don't really care about too much, right? So if you're entering an entrepreneur journey, you're going to work with people that you don't really care about too much, and that's okay. You're there to make your money. You're there to learn. Not everybody that you're doing a business with is going to be your friend, and that is okay. Remember that your friends, the people that you love, are the people that are in your home, the people that you're connected to. When you go out here and you start making these partnerships and these connections, you have to keep it as a business. Keep it as a business in your mind. And I know that's a little bit hard for us sometimes because our businesses tend to become very personal, and it can be personal for you, but it does not mean that it's going to be personal for your partner, so, or your business partner or business associates or people that you do work with, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's personal for you always because this is how you're making your money, but don't take other people personal. Their business. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? All right.
Yes.
So, a little bit about me. I'm like 99.9% of the world. I come from very humble beginnings. And I say that because there's a lot of people that they're like, oh, the only 2%. Yeah, 2% of the whole world are not from humble beginnings, which means most of us have more in common than what we even know. Okay? So the first
Mhm.
image here that you see of me, this one right here, it's when I was 7 years old in Chad Brown Projects. I was sitting in our kitchen table doing my homework after school. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, Puerto Rican. I've been living here in Oklahoma for 21 years now. But this is me. This little girl right here. I had asked me what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I had no big dreams. My big dream was to survive to the next day. Like I remember there was in eighth grade, they have you write down what are your goals for your future? Do you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, all the big things? And I'm like, a secretary? Like I don't know, they dress nice. So because you pick what you see, right? So I used to go visit my dad in jail all the time, or I would go see my dad in the hospital, or I would, different. My life was very chaotic growing up. So I didn't get the privilege to even think that I could be a doctor or an attorney or any of that because literally I was in survival as a child. I was in survival pretty much all of my childhood, young adult, like teenage years, and young adult life. Okay, because that's everything around me was survival. And so here I was 14, this actually 15, and this was in high school. And yeah, you can see I had like little chola shirt on, and I had a lot in those eyes. But then fast forward over here, I actually am a first generation college graduate. I got my bachelor's degree from OU in administrative leadership. And I'm actually right now 4 classes away from getting my master's program. And then right here, this was when I started really pushing the entrepreneurship journey. And that shirt that says the struggle inspired my hustle actually was from our clothing store. We had a little clothing line, and it was all about like educated with a hood sauce, because I always got to represent where I come from. But listen, and I want you guys to always understand being yourself is the thing that is going to open the doors for you. When you go out here and you connect with these top dogs, I promise you, you be yourself because that is what's going to sell you. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be the next person. Don't try to talk like anybody. Be who you are. Yes, of course, you're not going to be out here so like everybody, everybody has their ways of being. So whatever you feel comfortable with, right? Because you want to get the job, you want to get the partnership, you want them to look at you as a professional. But what I'm trying to tell you is that don't melt yourself down to fit in the mold that you think all these people want to see. Because what happens then is that once you melt yourself down and you realize that you're so unhappy because you've become somebody that it's not who you are, then you have to shape yourself back up to be who you are. So then you lose time in that process of melting yourself down to building yourself up again when you could have just always been yourself. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm sharing this is because who this is today, who I am today, is because I never melted myself for anyone. I've been consistently me. There's been people that did not want to work with me because I'm a lot of energy, and that's okay. I'm not for them, and thank God, right? But then there's other people that they're like, I love Abby. I want to work with Abby. I want to give Abby the opportunity. Let's call Abby. And thank God for those people, right? So, with that being said, don't ever melt yourself down to fit into a mold, because most of the times when you do that, you have to end up putting yourself back together again to then continue to walk a journey that you could have just avoided that little part. So, that's my biggest word of advice. Don't melt yourself down to fit a mold. Continue to be who you are, and the people that are meant to work with you will find you will attract the people that are meant to work with you, and they will love you so much because you are exactly who you are, and that's who they wanted. Okay? So, a little bit about my professional story here. Ay, perdón, sorry. Here we go. Over here. Okay. So, my background is in human resources. My last company that I worked for was in the oil and petroleum sector, oil and gas. Um, Within 6 years, I had 4 promotions, accelerated career advancement. Um, my achievements and my security was there, right? I had a pay that came every 2 weeks. I knew exactly what I was doing every day. I knew what time I had to log in, what time I had to clock out. I had the security, but something was lacking, right? So in 2022, that's when I decided that was the year that I took the great leap. And as you can see over here, this is my college graduation. My grandma, who's no longer here, but I attribute so much of who I am to her, because that woman was such a resilient force to be working with. I mean, she moved to New York from Puerto Rico when she was 12 years old, and she learned how to speak English by going to the library. She would walk herself to the library, and that's how she learned how to. I mean, that's just, she was just a phenomenal woman. And so here is also my last 2 days. I was doing, people thought I was doing the deuce. No, I was saying 2 days and I'm gone. I wasn't throwing up the deuce. I was doing the countdown. So that was my last 2 days of corporate. And of course, when I left, it was right around, it was 2022. So COVID was still kind of in the air. That's why you see these people with the mask. But they got me like a congratulations Abby cake, because they believed in me. They didn't even know what all I was doing, but they were happy for me. And it worked out. You know, I put in my resignation in December. We had to hire 3 people to do my job, so I actually ended up leaving in March of 2022. And so, with that being said, the appeal of entrepreneurship. So, let's talk about entrepreneurship. So, throughout my career, I established 6 businesses before my insurance company. And yes, we tried everything. But that I contribute so much of the success of Navi Lexus to the 6 that didn't succeed. You get what I'm saying? Financially. They didn't succeed financially, but let me tell you what they did teach me. They taught me resilience. They told me not to give up on myself. They showed me to pivot when I needed to pivot. And they showed me that it's okay. It's okay if it doesn't work out the first time. We can keep on trying until it does work out. Because if it doesn't work out the first time, what did you lose? Truly nothing, not even time, because that time taught you what you needed to learn so that you can do it again in a better way. Okay?
Mm.
So I now have this hasn't been completely updated because we have multiple new businesses. Navi Lexus Solutions is my sole baby, meaning that I have no partners. But then we have CRM Auto, which is a customer relationship automated data optimization program. It's an all-in-one back office suite. So if you're a small business owner and entrepreneur, this will take care of all your clients' data. This would predict. You can do campaigns, whether it's text messages campaign, email campaigns. You can do your social media planning. It has a website hosting. There's over 1,000 templates that you can choose from, plug and play type. I mean, it's a full back office suite. Plus, it has the Calendly if you want to do create like you know how the school SKOOL that has it's an app that you can create your own educational videos and you can sell them. We have access to that as well in our system. So it's an all-in-one back office suite. Then also I have 918 She Connects, which is, and you guys are all welcome to that. It's a free networking event that we do once a quarter. The goal of that is to connect local women and expose local restaurants. We started that last year. We did 4 events, and so we're continuing with that this year. And so it's free. The only thing you pay for is your food, and we ask that you leave a nice tip for the restaurant because the purpose of that is to support local restaurants. And then I also have another company called Lex Testing Solutions. That is I'm a co-founder on that, and that is a mobile DNA slash drug testing company. So there's multiple companies. We're actually working right now also in launching a nonprofit that would help us with our senior clients. And so because a lot of that we do with Nabulexis is with our senior clients because we work with Medicare. So because we work with Medicare, we tend to see a lot of seniors, and there's just a lot that's going on in that demographic. Like within the next 10 years, guys, there's going to be more seniors than any other demographic in Oklahoma. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's going to be like 46%. Right now, we're like at 24, 23% of our demographic that's seniors, which is 60 plus. In the next 10 years, there's going to be almost 50%. It's like 46% that is 55 plus, which means if you guys are like, there's going to be so much needs for seniors because transportation, home care, like all these things are going to be needed more because literally like half of our demographic here in Oklahoma will be in that loop. So the nonprofit that we're building is to help support seniors with essentials. And then each one of those, like I said, help me. Each one of those companies, each one of these companies have helped me so much because even though like I'm a creative entrepreneur, which means God gives me downloads and I connect with other people and we make it happen, you know? So, whatever you feel like is your download, whatever you feel like God is giving you, if you feel like it's a lot for you to carry along, guys, get partners, but partners that have the same heart and the same mindset that you have, okay? Because partnership is a great deal. Like, I had a partnership with so I'm co-founder of Tulsa Latina Leadership. I actually stepped back this year because as you guys can see, I have so many other things working for me right now. And so Tulsa Latina Leadership, we built it in 2023. I had 2 partners and we did a conference, we did a fashion show, and we did networking events. And it was great. We did a lot for the community, and they're still doing it. So I'm still supporting them. But it was a lot for me because I have so many other things already working. So I took a step back, but in that season, it was a great strategy move for my businesses because I didn't really have many connects in the Spanish market. Yes, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Latina, but since I've been living here in Oklahoma, I worked in corporate, which means all my connects were corporate connects. I didn't really go networking. I didn't really do a lot of that. So the past 2.5 years, I did a lot of heavy networking in the Spanish community. And so now I'm actually an established leader. They consider me a leader in their community, which is great. I have a lot of connects there. Everything happens for a reason. It was a season for me to work with them. I took the opportunity, I did my job, and then the season ended, and that was okay. And now I'm doing the next. And that is part of pivoting. It's understanding where you're at, understanding what you want, where you want to be. And if maybe you started something because you thought this is needed, this is so important, but maybe through the process, you're like, okay, maybe I'm being pulled to something else now. So let me refocus and let me do what I feel is the best thing for me? And some people won't be happy about your growth or your transitions. And guess what? They don't have to be. You have to be happy with it. You have to be okay with where you're at in your life. And as long as God is giving you the direction and the guidance, you should be good. Okay. So did I encounter failure? Maybe you want to say that because I did lose a lot of money in the process, but I consider it as when you go to college, what do you pay for?
Classes, credit,
Knowledge, right?
knowledge.
You pay for knowledge. So I put everything that I put in those businesses, it was what I paid, it was my knowledge that I paid for. So it was not a failure, it was a gain. And so I gained a lot from all those experiences. It shaped me to who I am today. And I'm able to confidently stand in any room as myself, knowing what I've been through, where I'm at, and how I got here. I can tell you, I've kept myself, I've never stomped on anybody's head to get to where I'm at. I've never tried to push anyone out the way. I've created my own avenues, and that's how I've made it where I'm at. So no, I'm not yet where I want to be, but God is still opening doors for me. But let me tell you what, I'm so far from where I used to be. And that is a blessing. So, what can I say? Fail forward. Okay, you're gonna fail. It doesn't matter. Failure is part of the game. It's part of the success. So fail forward, fail fast, make it happen, learn quick, and keep pushing. Do not allow failure to keep you stuck. Because if failure keeps you stuck, that's where depression comes in. That's It's okay for you to feel sad. That's normal. That's human beings. You're supposed to feel something didn't work out. You feel sad about it. But guess what you do next? You feel sad about it. You take a day, take a 2 days, pray about it. What did you learn from it? Move forward. Okay? And the key to success lies in understanding when to pivot. Why is this so important? What happens when you do not learn when to pivot? What happened to Blockbuster, guys? Do you guys remember Blockbuster? Am I
I
old?
don't
Years old? You
know
guys
who
don't
the
know? Okay.
Blockbuster or Bloodbuster.
We
Block
remember Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. Blockbuster. Am I not saying
Is
it
that
right?
the
That's where
The
Netflix.
video, the video
yeah,
Uh-huh.
store.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So Netflix actually tried to partner with Blockbuster to
Mm,
work together because they saw what their future was going towards. And Blockbuster said, no, we don't want to change
wow.
anything. We want to stay to this is work. What are you talking about? Movies that you can see on TV with no, what are you talking about? Like they did not have the vision. But guess what? God didn't give them the vision. That's why they didn't have it. Netflix had the vision and Netflix continued. And look where Netflix is now. You know what Netflix is. Where's
Wow.
Blockbuster? Ain't nobody even know about Blockbuster. Ain't that
That's
crazy?
crazy. I didn't know that about that. That's
Yes.
crazy. Hmm.
Yes, that is absolutely true. You can check it out, but that is what happens when you do not learn when to pivot. So, understanding when to pivot, that's literally what I've done this year is pivoting out of Tulsa Latina to continue to grow my other businesses because I saw where my other business could be going with the time that I was consuming with Tulsa Latina. And when you do that, when you're a businesswoman, you look at numbers, right? And if the numbers are not making sense, like Crystal said, it's a hobby. And if we're making real money somewhere else, we want to put more energy where the real money is coming from. Okay? So, recognizing the appropriate time and the appropriate moment when it's time for you to pivot. Pivot never means failure, it just means that your season there was done. Okay? All
Yep.
right. So, in the last 3 years, this year will be my fourth year as a full time entrepreneur. But we built, see, this one hasn't removed yet the Tulsa Latina. So, in the past 3 years, we've actually built Navi Lexus Solutions, CRM Auto, 918 She Connects, Lex Testing Solutions. Um, and now we're in the process of building the nonprofit. So, there's a lot of great things that are coming from this. But as of when I did this, it was 300 insured clients over 50 new businesses. Now we're like at 900 new clients because this was in 20 when we did the presentation at the beginning of 2025. So now we're at 900 insured clients for our health, life, and commercial insurance. We've helped over 150 businesses in the past 2 years launch. Last year, we started touching the nonprofits. So we've helped nonprofits launch as well. We executed the East Tulsa Senior Community Festival for the past 2 years. So the third one is coming this year, and we're about to make that happen again in August. And then we have CRM Auto as one of our platforms. So like I said, we're building. So this year, oh guys, no, I'm not gonna share that yet. So yeah, we're building. There's a lot of great things happening, and so why am I sharing this? Because that first year was the hardest year for me, and if I would have allowed that first year to beat me up like it tried to, I wouldn't be able to share the story with you guys. I wouldn't be able to say, hey, I am the founder of the East Tulsa Senior Community Festival. I wouldn't be able to say I've helped over 900 people with their life, health, and commercial insurance. I wouldn't be able to say we've helped over 150 people start businesses. You see what I'm saying? I knew in my office on that December 8th when I put in my resignation, my initial resignation, that my time there was done. But I try to fight it because, guys, that ball and chain of that security, that ball and chain of that money coming in and that nice money coming in was hard. But I knew that it was my time. And so I'm grateful that I did take that opportunity on myself because I am where I am now because I did that. I did take that opportunity on myself. So, reflections. I'm moving you guys around in my screen. I don't know if you guys can see me moving you guys from one side to the next. But final reflection. The journey of entrepreneurship obviously has its challenges. I'm sure if you guys are starting businesses, you guys are already seeing those challenges, right? But it is achievable. Everyone can become a successful entrepreneur if you have the right mindset. That is the key because the connections, everything else will follow. But your mindset has to be like Kanye. You have to believe in yourself more than anybody else. When the world is telling you you're not going to make it, you're not good enough, you should go try to find something else, you should figure something else out, this is not going to be for you, you have to say, you know what? The calling was never for you. You never heard the calling that God gave me. This is for me to do. And you have to believe in yourself 10x. Okay? 10 times more than you're not believing in yourself. So if you sometimes let the enemy get into your mind and make you feel imposter, you don't belong, you don't how are you going to get there? You don't have the connects, you don't this, you don't that. If God gave you the vision, if he gave you the dream, if he gave you the desire, if he put it in your gut, I believe in you and you need to believe in you. Okay? And so create something significant that makes a difference. And also, do not let fear consume you. Walk into every room like God sent you in there because guess what? He did. If not, you wouldn't be in there. Okay? So you walk into every room like you belong in that room and don't allow anybody to make you feel like you don't belong in that room because if you're there, I don't care who those other people are that are in there as well. I don't care what connections they have and how they got there. You got God and you got there through God. So who better? Who better to have on your side? Okay? So if I can accomplish it, guys, from being a little girl from Chad Brown Projects, my dad, I'll share you a little bit about him. He was an amazing man. Unfortunately, he had a very bad illness, which was he was an addict. He was a heroin addict. So he was taken from me when I was 9 years old. And my mom had 14 siblings that she had to raise. So we ended up always going to like homeless shelters to get food. I got a lot of my clothes from donations and things. So I wanted to say I had no connects, guys. I had no connections. But I kept on showing up and I kept on believing in myself. And God started sending me people like Crystal. And he started sending me people like Crystal, but other people. Like he just started sending me all the right people at the right time. And I started paying attention. And so I realized when I'm surrounded with people that truly believe in me, that's when I do the best. So surround yourself, guys, with people that say, great job in trying. Even if it didn't work out, it doesn't matter. You tried, and that's what matters. Surround yourself with people that are excited about your success. They're not like, oh, here she comes again with another thing that she's doing. Don't be around those type of people because believe me or not, those type of people will water you. They will slower your growth, You don't want to be around that. So surround yourself with people that want you to grow, want you to succeed. Crystal's a great start. I'm sure that these people in this room, you ladies that are in here, this is probably a great community that you guys will have for the rest of your life. So continue to grow, guys, and I'm rooting for you guys. But before I let you guys go, I want to share something with you guys, which let me make sure that I have, because I was working before I logged in. Okay, guys, wait, hold on. Let me stop sharing for 1 second because I'm going to share something with you guys that is major kudos. Okay, this is going to help all y'all's businesses in one way or another. So hold on, give me 1 sec. Here we go. Okay. So you guys know that in the city of Tulsa, there is a small business directory. So I'm going to show you guys how to get to that. City of Tulsa. So I don't know what kind of business you guys are running or are trying to run or trying to start, but I want to show you that this lives here. So if you go to where it's City of Tulsa, you go to Development and Businesses, you go down to where it says Small Business Enterprise Program. And then right underneath that, do you see where it says, in order for you to be on this list, you have to have a 3-year average annual salary of it says at least, 3 million and then 5 million for construction. So for them to have been in this list, they have to be in business at least 3 years, right? Okay. Like I said, I don't know what kind of industry you guys are trying to get into, but these are some great contacts. Hold on. Let me get here. Here we go. So here is a full list of 250. Let's say 52 because the first one is the subject line, right? So 252. You have the name of the company. You have the contact of the company. You have the phone number. You have the email. You have the address. And you have the type of industry that they're in.
Where is it at? Because
Right
it's
here.
still on the
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Stop sharing and let me do it again. My bad. Share. Here it is. There it is. Okay, let's go back over here. I'm sorry. I'm glad you said that because I was over here thinking that you could see it. All right. So
Okay.
here's the name of the company. Here's the contact name. Here's the phone number. Then here you have the email. Wait, hold on. Email and address and the type of company. So guys, when you guys are ready to launch your businesses, I don't know what type of businesses you guys have, but I heard something about a daycare. So most of these people probably know someone that needs childcare, or maybe they need it, or they know someone that does. What I would suggest is doing a marketing campaign. So how would you do that? I would say first you can do an email campaign. The way that I would actually set it up is like this. I would first do a mailing campaign. So create a letter in a flyer that the flyer should have like your marketing, like all your services that you want to market. And then the letter is just an introduction of your company, of yourself and your company. You're going to say, hey, my name is Abby with Abby Lexus Solutions. I'm a small business owner here in Tulsa as well. And I noticed that you were on the SBE directory list. I wanted to connect and see how we can work together. Here's a brochure that shows some of the services that we provide. I'd be happy to schedule a Zoom call or a coffee and kind of see where we're at. Okay. So you send this letter first with the flyer to these people. You have their address. Okay. After you send the flyer with the letter, then you can do an email campaign. If you guys use a CRM system that has campaign systems for you, that would be a great way to do it. If not, if you guys don't have a CRM system yet, guys, manually, copy and paste each one of these people and let them know who you are. It's going to be the same thing. The email is going to say, hi, my name is Abby with Abby Lexus Solutions. This is the services that we provide. And here's a flyer that's attached with the services that we provide. Okay. After you do that, then the last form of campaign is the phone calls. Because then you can say, hi, my name is Abby with Abby Lexus Solutions. I sent you a letter in the mail. I also sent you an email. I just want to make sure that you're getting my stuff because I know sometimes it goes to spam. Who are you? What is this about? Oh, I actually got your information from the small business directory list in the city of Tulsa. I'm also a small business owner. I just want to see how we can connect, how we can work together. That's it. Listen, guys, like I said, I don't know what kind of industry you are in, but you can make this list work for you. This is a full, complete list of contacts, and it lives free in the city of Tulsa, and it gets updated like every 3 months. Okay?
Thanks for sharing that. Didn't know
Yes.
about
You're
This
welcome.
is
You're welcome.
awesome. Check to see if my name is on there.
Okay, let me check. Crystal Ifakoya. Let's check for Crystal. Let's look here. Hold on. Crystal, you're right here.
that.
Yay!
I mean, come on. Listen. Do I have to say more about Crystal? I mean, look at
Right.
this. Okay. I mean, come on. I mean, anyways, so let me
Well,
stop
how does
here.
that get put on there?
You have to apply. So there's an application process. So see in
Oh,
the
okay.
can you guys see my screen still or no? Let me share again.
No.
No.
Okay.
So in here, you would apply. So the application is a little bit intense. So I've seen, of course, Crystal did it because she's like that. But the application is intense. Let me show you guys a little bit about this application. Hold on. Let me share my screen. I have to work on getting on here, Crystal. Oh my God. All right. Let me share my whole
Look, Abby, now you have a goal. You're not even in the class, but
I
the next
know.
time, next
You see, when
time
you
the
hang around people like Crystal, I promise
women
you, you're always gonna grow. You're always like there's Crystal, I don't even think you know how dope you really are in real life. Like, I don't even think you would understand because truly,
Uh,
like, you put so many people on, you do so much behind closed doors, like, and you just do it because this is your passion. Like, I don't know, girl, you are definitely God sent, and I'm forever grateful that I met you in this lifetime. Seriously.
It is
Um,
yeah.
all to God be the glory. It is all him. It is
Well,
all him.
let me show you guys how to get on this. Do you guys this is the first instruction page, and then here's the application. But then this is second application, the project form, personal, and then financial, profit and loss in your balance sheet. You have to be able to provide all this information, and then they have to review it, and then they have to see if you qualify to be part of this list. But if you are, then you can be on that list. So
Yeah.
it's not like a quick, but girls, you guys can do this. Once
Come
you guys
on, and coming soon. That's in the future.
listen, when you guys are in business 3 years, you guys remember where this is at and then come back
Yeah.
and apply. But in the meantime, use that list to help promote your business. Use that
Yes.
list to help promote yourself. I gave you guys a little strategy for the marketing deal. I'm not a marketing expert, but I've done marketing for all my businesses, so I've kind of figured it out. But yeah, I wish you guys all much success. And Crystal, thank you again for having me on. I appreciate
I
you.
have a question. You was talking so fast. I don't know if you answered it. But how did you connect with your partnerships? How did that happen? Like, because how many you said 5 businesses you have?
Uh-huh. Yep, yep.
Okay.
So one of them well, honestly, networking. One of them is with my husband. So him, we're just, we live together. So, but the
Hmm.
other people were networking events, having conversations, like kind of understanding where people's mindset is, what their goals are, kind of seeing if we can connect and make things happen together. I've learned that I like to work in partnerships because you're able to hand off expectations to someone else.
Hmm.
You don't have to carry it all alone. But I
Yes.
also have an admin, and she's in Argentina, and I have an assistant here who's actually my cousin. She works in the office. So I think it's really just all the partnerships that I've had has come through like networking events and conversations, like just having intentional conversations with people that you respect and then kind of like giving them ideas. I always feel like when you are able, if you're going to have a meeting with somebody that you really, really respect and you have like an idea that you would like them to be part of what you're doing, I would kind of research them. Check out their website, check out their LinkedIn, I kind of stalk them a little bit just to kind of see how they think, and then when you
Mhm.
have lunch with them or whenever you see them, you'll be like, oh my God, maybe they got a new dog. Oh my God, I saw you got a new dog. Like when you open up conversations that are more on a personal level, the person feels more connected personally. And remember, guys, that all relationships always start kind of personal. And then you can figure out if you want to keep it like a little bit personal when it's business or if you want to move it directly to business. And it's an easy switch. Like for me, it's a very easy switch. I can start you off as a personal, hey, how we doing? Everything good? And we have coffee and I ask you about your kids. But then quickly, once we're working together, I'm able to just kind of focus on what it is that we have to do together. Of
Mhm.
course, you want to work with people you like in real life as well. But
Right.
sometimes
Right.
people show you somebody, and then once you start working with them, you realize that's not who they are. And so you're like, oh,
Mhm.
I don't really like this person in real life, but you still have some type of tie with them. I would say trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Marlene, I see you again. uh, trust yourself, trust your intuition, and just know that whatever God has for you is for you. No one can take it away. And truly, like I am rooting for each and every one of you guys. The fact that you guys are connected with Crystal, I already know you guys are gonna win. And so yeah, I'm rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just also saying that your network will always be your net worth. Who you have close to you will always be the how you make money or how you lose money. So remember that.
I have a
That's
little
good.
feedback. Besides
Yeah,
Crystal being great, Amy is also great. I love her. I love
you're
her.
so sweet. Thank you, hon. I appreciate you. I met Marlene through a networking event too, right, Marlene?
Yes.
Yes. I network a lot. I network a lot because I do believe that your network is your net worth. Like the people that you have around you, it has opened so many doors for me in every one of my businesses and in my personal life as well. Understanding that your network truly is your net worth. I know sometimes it sucks because you're like, oh, I gotta go talk to these women. And sometimes you go to an event, they look at you like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Guess at first I would let it get to me. And now after like the first few months, I'm like, you know what? I do belong here. No, I don't have all the connects that you have, but guess what? God brought me here, and so this is where I'm gonna sit. And if you
Yeah.
don't want to sit next to me, that's okay. Some God will bring the right people to sit around me, and He has, and He will continue to do so. I believe that strong heartedly. And I'll share this last thing before I hang out here. When I left Tulsa Latina this year, it was a very hard move for me because I did grow to love so much the community and the women that I worked with. I had so it never felt like work.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, it really wasn't work. It wasn't paying me like for example, I would dedicate sometimes 20 hours a week, or for the average is 4 hours a week, but whenever we would have events, it would be like 20 hours or 30 hours. And then when we would do our numbers at the end of the year, it was like, okay, this is just not it. Like I have a company that's a six-figure company, and I invest almost as much time as I do with this. And this is literally not even $10,000. You see what I'm saying? So it was truly a business decision, and being able to separate my emotions like, okay, this business is not doing the numbers that it needs to do. Yes, it was doing other things for me, but then I also found other avenues of doing those other things without it costing me so much of my time, because your time is so valuable. When you are managing so many different things at the same time, having 20 hours in a week dedicated to a project that is making you less than $10,000 in a year, that's crazy. It's just too much. So it was I had to take a step back, but it wasn't because I didn't love them. It wasn't because I didn't like them. It was because it was a business move. And so this goes back to, sometimes you're going to make business decisions that maybe feel personal, but you have to remember you're a business owner, you're a businesswoman, so you have to lead for your business.
That's good. I agree.
I
And
agree.
just something funny on your second picture, I saw your baby hairs. Which you,
I still do it too. I still do it. It's just that you can't. But
but,
since I was a kid.
but see, they renamed it. We used to call them sad burns, but they call them
Okay.
baby hairs now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would always be like, I'm laying down my baby hairs, and I always had my braids, and all this stuff. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. It's
Yes. Thank
wonderful.
you guys so much for having me. Any other questions? And I'm sorry that, you know what? When I'm excited, and when I do speak fast, and I'm like, but this is who I am, and truly this is how I've grown. Because when I've tried to like melt myself at times, I did try. That's why I'm telling you guys, don't do it. Because there was like a little period of time when I quit my corporate job. I was still in corporate mindset, and it was like I was treating my businesses like corporate, which is
Mhm.
good, but then also people are not able to connect with you. And like Marlene just said, oh, I love Abby. You know why? Because she was able to connect with me on a personal level. So when you're a business owner, yeah, you're going to carry your hat of professionalism, but also you're a human being, right? And you're connecting with your clients, and you're connecting with the audience. You're connecting. So Marlene has never been my client, but who's to say that she may not know someone who may need my services in the future? You get what I'm saying? So I always treat everyone, first of all, regardless if they're my client or not, I will always treat everybody with respect, because that's how I was raised. No matter what, no matter what you look like, where you come from, you treat me with respect, I'm going to give you the same in return. But then also, part of being a business owner is letting people kind of see a little bit of your personal life in a professional setting. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
I give a lot of hugs to females. I'm like, hey, not men. Men, I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Give me a hand.
Mhm.
You know, but for females,
Mhm.
I'm like, hey, and that's not
Yeah.
something that you really see too much in corporate, right? But
Right.
that's what
Mhm.
makes me connect. That's why so many of my
Mhm.
women, the people that come close to me, they're they love that about me. And then some of them like, Abby, you're the only one I let hug me because I am not a hugger. I take a note of that, because if they're not a hugger, I never want to make them feel uncomfortable. So I
Mhm.
won't give them a hug in the future. I might be like, hey, how you? I'll go like this, and then they'll be like, you can give me a hug. Where's my hug? And I'm like, okay, but I'm very respectful. If you tell me, Abby, I only let you hug me, then moving forward, I might not hug you immediately unless you tell me to. So it's just paying
Mhm.
attention. It's just paying attention, and treating people with kindness and respect. Truly, that's truly the way that I've connected with all the partners that I've connected with. That's how I've had every door open for me, is by treating people with respect and being intentional and professional, but still personal in a way.
And the funny thing is, Abby introduced me to Crystal in a WOW organization. So
Okay.
I'm connected to those ladies.
I
I
love
love it. I love it.
I put Crystal's name everywhere. Everywhere. I'm like, y'all don't know Crystal Ifakoya? Oh my God. She is amazing. You need to get to know her. You need to follow her. And, so Crystal would know, because I'll be like, Crystal, I just sent this person to you. I do all these warm intros for Crystal. So, like, Crystal gave me so much. So every time I meet somebody that I think can give something back to Crystal, I'm like, hey, Crystal, this is a warm intro. Guys, that's how you make your real connections. You give back to those people that gave to you something. It doesn't matter if they just gave you a piece of candy. You give back. Like whenever you're able to give back, you do that.
It truly does pay forward, because our first speaker, Iris, the one that spoke the first night, it was because I had spoke to Abby, and Abby said you need to meet with her. And when I met with her, I was looking for someone for the fitness part, and Iris came up and we met, and I was like, I remember Iris. She used to come to the WOW events way back in the day. And it's all about the connections. Like, you guys, you will not believe the jobs that I've gotten, the connections, the contracts. It is because I network, and networking led me to speak to certain people, nurture those relationships, and before you know it, those become gold mines. And even
Mm-hmm.
if it's not a gold mine of money, it's a gold mine of love. It's a gold mine of just relationships. I think to Natalie even being on this call is because of Tanisha, which is now the president of WOW. I would not know Natalie if it wasn't for Tanisha and going to the Girls Talk retreat. And from there, I met her and met so many other women, and my now spiritual mother. Like, you don't know when you're going to connect to somebody and when it's going to be like, that's the connection that's going to last a lifetime. So getting out there, meeting new people. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to meet anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to go into a room and just sit like a fly on the wall. And sometimes I don't even want to go in the room. But there's something about just forcing yourself into that room with a smile. If you have a smile when you walk in the room, now not too big of a smile because you'll come off as weird. Just look
Me,
happy,
weird.
naturally happy.
Oh, geez. I'm like, girl, you doing too much.
I love it.
It be like that. It be like that for sure. Yeah.
But the authentic you, when you walk into the room, it makes a difference when you just have a different experience. I've learned not to walk in a room if somebody's just made me angry or made me cry. I have to gather myself first before I go into that room, because guess what? Whatever are in your thoughts is your spirit, and it's going into that room as well. So you have to be mindful of the rooms you walk into. And when you give it off, people be like, I don't know about her. She seems like she's going through, she looks mean. Some people have a resting face, and you know what kind of face I'm talking about. I have a resting face sometimes. And I've had people say, you come off kind of intimidating. And then they get to meet me and they're like, oh my gosh, you are totally not who I thought you were. I'm like, exactly. But they won't know you until you walk into that room. They won't know you until you fill out that application. And for my workers that are online, there was a situation where one of my friends, they applied for a job, and when they applied for it, the person told them, I didn't even know that you were interested in working in this. I would have hired you a long time ago. They basically didn't even have to interview for it because their work ethic was already there. They just didn't know that that person wanted that type of responsibility. So the job was already waiting on them. But because they never said anything and they just kept their head down and did their work and went home, nobody knew that they were even worthy of the next step or getting to the next. So don't be afraid to ask. And if you ask and they say, how dare you ask? That's not the right place for you. Find the place that is. Because if you ask someone to go to the next level and they treat you with hostility or treat you like you shouldn't be asking, that's not a place that you should be, especially if they haven't trained or equipped you in how to get to the next level. That means that they're wanting to keep you in bondage. They're wanting to keep you at the same level forever, which
Right.
means you're not going to grow and the company isn't going to grow because they have nowhere to take you to.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I have employees, I tell them, I ask them, what do you aspire to? What is your long time goal? Matter of fact, I tell them, this position is for now, but the ultimate position that I see you working in is the supervisor or managing these people because I see that skill set already on you. So when you start to see people, see them for more than what they are. And in return, they will see you for more than what you are. And you will start to see yourself go to the next level. And again, I
Can I
cannot
add
stress
something to
this
that,
enough.
Crystal? Because I didn't realize
Go
that you
ahead.
had some people here that are still employed.
Uh-huh.
So how many of y'all are still employed? It is the goal to grow within the company. No. Okay. All right, everything I needed to hear. Because I was going to say, if the goal is to grow within the company, you can still apply everything that we talked about today. You can still do all these things. You can still network. You can connect. You can ask them to go out to golf. You can ask them to go out to coffee. You know, you can still grow within an organization. It's just, I'm tapped out. I don't blame you, hon. I do not blame you. I tapped out too. Listen, now I'm ruined. I am ruined for I can never go back to work. I could if I have to, okay? If I absolutely have to, I could. But I am ruined. My mind is constantly going. Like this morning, I was at a conference. Then I got all the stuff that I needed for my event tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a members brunch. We're expecting 72 people there. We have the Tulsa Opera that's going to come sing to our members. They're like constantly going nonstop. I come home, I went straight into my system. What am I missing? What am I pending on? Then I have to log in. I'm like, Crystal, I haven't gotten the email yet. What is the? Is it at 5? I was freaking out for a second. But no, and then after I finish with you guys, I have to go to a Galentine's that I still have to make room for family and friends. So the whole deal is, guys, you guys can do it all. You really can. It's just creating a structure for yourself, having automation. Like automation for me is my secret sauce. Automation. That's where CRM auto comes in. I would say, guys, if you guys can afford a CRM system early in the game, that is literally going to be what's going to bring you up for success. I had a CRM from day one because I needed the automations. I believed so much in the power of automation, power of campaigns that I wanted to make that work while I was sleeping. I wanted to have everything set up in advance. I would take 2-3 days, set up all my campaigns, and then I would just let them work. And then that's literally like I can't do it all, right? I can't do it all, but I have systems in place that help me. I have people in place that help me because I can't do it all. But when I first
So a
started, I had to
CRM is
do
a scheduling system or something, or what is a
like
CRM?
a customer it's so a CRM is like a customer relationship management system. So literally you would put in all your clients, you can put clients, you can put sponsors, you can put contacts that are not your clients yet. You can tag them with what it is that each person is, and then when you can run campaigns, and when you run campaigns like whether it's text campaigns, email campaigns, the tag it's based off the tag. So let's say that you tag clients like you tag your clients with client, right? My clients are marked like Medicare clients, life insurance clients, commercial clients, startup clients, Spanish or English, and then it's like East Tulsa Senior Community Festival because some clients we invite to the East Tulsa Senior Community Festival. Some clients are tagged with Members Brunch, or some clients are tagged with 918 She Connects. So whenever we have events for all these things, I just send out those campaigns. I take a day, I structure my campaigns, and then I have them work for me. And the campaigns work on their own. So like in one day, they send out all the emails. You do a drip campaign, so they sends them out little by little, and it doesn't tag you as a bot. Um, and then like an automated, and then After you do that, then you would do then it kind of goes on its own. So they'll set out the first one, and then a week later it sends out the second one. A week later it sends out the third email, whatever. But you're not working it. This is stuff that's already working for you because you've taken the time to set it up. Okay.
Mm.
And a lot of people tell me, Abby, how do you always have like time to do all this? And I'm like, I take a day. This is in the beginning. I would take a day and I would structure everything that I needed to structure for that whole month. So if we had a members brunch, if we had any like the East Tulsa Senior Community Festival coming up, I would send, like, if I know the East Tulsa Community Festival is in June or August, already by May, people are going to start getting those texts and emails and stuff in the mail inviting them.
Mm.
You get what they
Mhm.
have to, I do 2 months of campaigning. So two
Yeah.
months of campaigning before any big event. And
Mm.
literally, Crystal was at last year's event. Crystal, you can speak on how many people were in that room. This is at the
It was
YMCA, guys.
large. It was
It's
large.
it's a gym. It's a huge gym, and it was packed.
That's awesome.
That's God. God in automation. Thinking in
Okay.
advance. Think in
Yeah.
advance, plan in advance. This is your business, guys. You guys get to structure it however you want. But I definitely say, like, one of the things that has truly helped me is automation. Having a CRM system and setting it up. I have my website on there. I do my automations through there. I have, like, if you guys follow my Navi Lexus or any of my webs or any of my businesses, there's 2 to 3 posts that go out every week. Those are set up a month in advance. I don't do those daily. Those are set up a month in advance. We set it up with different times so that Facebook and Instagram don't know they're automated. And we make it happen. The whole deal is to set yourself up for success. This is your company. You get to run it however you want, but it's your responsibility to set yourself up for success. You may
Mm.
fail, but it's not truly a failure. It's a lesson, right? You might get an L from here and there, even when you do all things right. Because trust me, that first year, I'm like, I'm doing everything right. I don't understand why this is not working. Guys, when I tell you that I was crying all the time, like, this was my daily routine. I'd wake up, take a shower, get dressed, do my makeup, do my hair, show up everywhere that I was supposed to show up that day, come home and cry. Like almost every day. I'll say hi to my family, my husband, my kids, and I would go straight to the bathroom because I knew I had to cry. And then I would take a shower and my husband would go in there. He'd be like, baby, you want some tea? Are you okay? I'm like, why did I quit my job? I should never quit it. This is crazy. Who does this? But it was hard. It was hard. But I am so glad I did it. I'm so glad
Yeah.
I did it. And I have to be so honest because these are realistic expectations. You have to
Oh, yeah.
have realistic expectations. It's understanding that
Mhm.
sometimes getting an L is part of it's always part of the journey. The
Yeah.
lessons are always part of the journey, but the lessons will get you to your success. And once you get those lessons, you're not going to do them again. You're not going to do the same thing that you messed up in before. You already learned, right? So you're going to do
Right.
better next time, and you're going to do better and better and better. And next time that we talk to each other, y'all all going to be making 6 figures on your own, working for your own company. I'm rooting for y'all, okay?
That part.
So
Speak it. Come on. I'm backing it because it's happening.
That's right. That's right. You accept that, girlfriend, because it's yours. And yeah, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it is hard. But anything you have, I heard this before and it stuck with me. It's hard to work for somebody else and it's hard to work for yourself. You choose the hard that you want. It's that simple.
Working for myself.
There you
Come
go.
on.
So
That
working for
part.
yourself will have its own fair of hardships and his own fares of, lessons, but the same thing. When you work for somebody else, you're going to have lessons and there's going to be times that you're not going to be happy there. It's the same thing. But you choose your hard. The difference is that when you work for yourself, you're building legacy. You get to control your time somewhat. Like I get to go on vacations, right? And I don't have to ask people for time off. But then also I have days like today that I'm like nonstop from morning to night. So you get to
Mhm.
choose your time, yes, but then also, there's a lot of pros and cons for both. I personally have been ruined for corporate. I don't think I'll ever be able to go back, and I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
But that's it. I mean, that's my spiel. We good, Chris?
I am. You've done an
Okay.
amazing job. Thank you so much, Abby, for coming today and
Thank
pouring
you,
your
guys.
wisdom into the ladies. This has by far been one of the most
Thank
energetic
you.
speeches so far or presentations that we've had. And even I got some nuggets out of it. And the crazy part, you went to that city of Tulsa, and I was like, have I been on that site? Like, do I know about this? And of course, my name is already on there.
You know
But
about it, girlfriend. You probably did it 3 years ago.
probably did. It's been a minute. But when you think about where you're going, how you're getting there, it takes people. It takes you believing that you can make a difference in this world. And it takes knowing that God is at the forefront and He's going to help you. And not every day. I want to put this out here because I think there's a misconception. And I think for the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about this misconception. We look at other people's success and don't look at the process they went through to get to the success. And we want there today without working for it yesterday. We want what they have exactly right now. But if you start asking people, what did you do to get there? How did you get there? You will start to see, oh, it takes that. WoW has been around since 2008, you guys. 2008. I want you all to count that up. We're about to be 18 years old in August 8th of this year. 18 years. That's a child. Before WoW finally got into a rhythm, it wasn't until we were 16. It was like, oh, it turned 16. Now I was able to let WoW go a little bit like a teenager. Like, we're going to let you drive a little bit by yourself. You know, when you turn 16, but it's persistent. You have to be persistent. When you're going after something, there's ebbs and flows. And you probably hear that all the time. But do you all know what an ebb is? Like, have y'all looked up the definition of what an ebb is? I'm
I
going to put
haven't
it
looked up.
on the screen so you all can see.
And while Crystal's doing
Because
this was part of our conversation at lunch today. I just found out
really,
that her nonprofit started as an email newsletter.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like the evolution in this 18 years, like it may be what it is today, but it's literally just started out as a newsletter. Like that's fantastic.
Just like
Yes.
a plant or a tree or a flower, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if you think about land, 5 years ago, a lot of stuff was not built, but now it's built and it's thriving in different parts of Tulsa. So it's the same. A lot of preparation has to go into place before you actually see.
Before you actually see it. Someone
Yeah.
had to dream it first, then they had to start working on it, and then they had to get other people because, you know, if you're doing a construction work, there's not a one-man construction show out there. There's
No.
not a one-man bridge out there, not a bridge that people are driving across, anyways. But it starts with a dream. It starts with a vision. It starts with writing that vision down. But I have on the screen what ebb means. It says the movement of the tide out to sea. Ebb, move away from the land, recede, and then gradually lessen or reduce. My enthusiasm was ebbing away, or the tide began to ebb. So we hear ebb and flow all the time, not knowing that it's relating to water. Now, the significance of that, when you think of a ebb and a flow, it's letting you know it's moving away from the land. So that's when it comes back out to the sea, but then it goes back into the sea. If you've ever been on a beach or the lake and the water is moving back and forth, you can see that water just coming up and then going back out. And as it's going out, that's not the same water every time that comes back. There's different things in that water every single time that it comes back. I have sit on the beach and watched the water go out. And when it came back, there was like all kinds of other stuff. It could be seaweed or animals or shells. There's always an ebb and a flow. So if you're thinking about ebbing and flowing in your business, there's going to be times when it's thriving and it's good. There's going to be other times when you may have to save, like Abby said. It may be 3 or even up to 6 months before you get your next really big contract or your next big deal. But the thing to remember is consistency. So many people have told me over and over again, we love WOW because it's consistent. If we can't count on anything, we can count on WOW being there. And that's what some of you need to take to heart with your business. Don't give up. I know people that have given up on their business, and I've saw a lot of nonprofits rise since I've been a nonprofit, and they shut back down. And all I keep saying to myself is, what happened to them? They were really, really good. They had a lot of momentum. I really wanted to work with them. But guess what they didn't have? Determination. They didn't have the drive. They did not have what it takes when life starts throwing it at you. So you have to learn to keep moving forward even when life becomes overwhelming. Now, have I tried to put WOW down? Absolutely. I tried to dissolve WOW. I have given it away to other people. I said, how about you do WOW from now on? They had it for a good month and they were like, no, this is too much. You got to take it back. And when I say gave away, I gave them the name. I told them I'll go change everything at the state. And they did 1 month of scriptures on the Facebook page. And they said, Crystal, that was too much. I said, you just did the post and you didn't even do an event. They were like, we're giving this back. So when you think of where you're going, start thinking about what can you do realistically? I didn't do this with this big scheme of doing it all by myself. When I wrote it down, I said, God, this is bigger than me. I said, how am I going to do this? Because there's no way I can do this by myself. And he said, you're not supposed to do it by yourself. I will bring the right people at the right time, exactly when they're supposed to come. And then, I got this big head and I'm like, well, since God is doing all this stuff, we're going to go bigger and greater. And he reminded me real quick. Now, I told you to depend on me and not other people. And now you're out here doing too much. So then he had to bring me back down a little bit. And then there were times where there were people that came along and they felt like they were smarter than me. They felt like they had it more together than me. I almost lost my own organization from stupidity of allowing them to be a part of it and giving them more say than what they should have, because they didn't have the heart of the people. They did not have the heart of the vision. They did not have the heart of God. So when you don't have all three of those, then if they take it over, it's not going to work for them. You could give somebody the exact recipe, and it still won't be the same as if you did it. And I see that all the time. Me and my sister were cooking and she was like, I need your recipe. I gave her the exact recipe, told her exactly how to cook it. And it still did not look like mine and it did not taste like mine. And her children were like, that doesn't taste like Aunt Crystal's. I said, don't make her feel bad. She tried. But again, who you are is who you are. I have another analogy for you. Don't be afraid because somebody else is doing exactly what you're doing. I told Abby this a long time ago. Go down to the bread aisle. Look how many loaves of bread, exactly the same ingredients, different plastic. Some of them, the plastic it's just the same colors with different words on it, but they're exactly the same. And people buy all of those brands. And the ones that don't, you don't go into the store saying, what happened to Wonder Bread? No, you go find the other bread. Some people buy the bread because it's cheap. Other people buy the bread because of the contents. And some people buy the bread because they personally know the brand. Find out which one you're working with. And in your own business, there's going to be people that come. They're going to work with you because you're affordable. Others are going to work with you because they like what you do. Others are going to work with you because they know you personally. And then some may know you personally, may like what you do, and they're still not going to work with you. And you have to be okay with that. They don't have to be your friends. This is business. This is not a friendship. It is business. And when you get in your head that what I'm doing is not about someone supporting my business, because not everybody is meant to support you. When you start to be okay with people walking away, with people not showing up, with people not pulling their weight, as long as you pull your weight, people see that. There were times when I had to work a whole event for WOW by myself. I took my wagon, I drug it into the event. I didn't even have my daughters. And I was like, God, what have I done to myself? And when I got there, God would send people, was like, you need some help? I'm like, yes. And so they would go out there. I didn't even care. I would let them have my car. My purse would, I wouldn't even know where my purse was at events. I was on a total trust system because I needed the help. And those were some of the best events. And when I realized this is truly women helping other women, they're helping within WOW. And I would have complete strangers working the registration desk. Like they had been a part of WOW since day one. That was their first time meeting me 10 minutes before the event started. And now they're greeting the people. I mean, it was interesting. But and people be like, wow, WOW is good. It's great. It's a lot of people involved with WOW. I'm like, it's really not. But the more we did it, the more we got our name out there. WOW is bigger than me. I go into places and I will never forget the first time this lady was like, I need you to know about this organization. It is awesome. I'm going to this event on Saturday. Here's one of their flyers. And I'm like, I didn't print any. I said, is that, how is that? That's my event, but I didn't print any flyers. And she was like, I was like, where'd you get this flyer from? She was like, girl, I printed it off of the website. I've been passing it out to all the people I've been seeing. I'm like, I said, this is my event. She said, you're the person? It's like, yes.
That's awesome.
I actually saw her at the event this Saturday, and I thought it was so funny because she was actually sitting right next to you, Destiny, the Mary Kay lady. She
Okay.
she was promoting my event without even knowing me. She didn't even know who was, she just said, and she was talking so eloquently. I wanted to go to the event that she was talking about. And so I was like, oh, that's my event. I will be there. So
That's awesome.
you don't know when you make a difference in somebody else's life, when your intentions are pure, people will show up. You don't have to have all the answers. And I'll say that to everybody. Stop thinking you have to have all the answers. All you have to have is God on your side, and make that, put one foot in front of the other. Scared, shaking, trembling, angry, sad, depressed, whatever it is, do it anyway, because eventually you're going to be exactly where you're supposed to be, or exactly where you want to be. Now, it does take dedication, and I'm going to push you,
Crystal, real
Abby.
quick, because I just want to highlight what you just did there. So, you guys just noticed that she said she didn't even know this person, right? But she went first saying, hey guys, sometimes your friends are not going to support you, your family's not going to support you. You guys got to still do it no matter what, right? Because look at what just happened. God sent somebody else that Crystal didn't even know. Crystal didn't even know that God had put this girl over here. She saw the flyer, she printed the flyer, she's promoting the flyer. Why? Because God, she's doing what God's work is, right? She's listening to God. She's listening to her intuition. She's respecting and she's being obedient even when it's hard. So that is such a highlight, Crystal, because when it gets hard, when we don't see our family supporting us, when we don't see our friends supporting us, not even sharing a flyer or sharing a comment on Facebook, just hit the
Man,
share. It's free. It's
come
free.
on.
Right?
Okay.
But what happens with that? We get fun. We're like, God, nobody sees what I'm trying to do. But that's okay. Just remember this moment. When you are doing something and you have no support from the people around you, remember what Crystal just said. Remember this moment and ask God for him to find somebody else like he found for Crystal, for you. God, I don't know how this is going to get promoted, but you know how. I'm being obedient because I'm just a little person here. That's why I tell him all the time. I'm like, God, I don't even, why are you making me do, I don't even want, what is, it's just me. It's just me, little Abby. Like, what the heck? But then it's like, no, trust it. And so I just wanted to highlight on that, Crystal, because that's so intentional. That's so like important to remember. Yes, our family's not always gonna support us. Our friends are not gonna always support us. And they may not hit the share even though it's free. They may not give the comment, whatever. That's okay. Guys, this is your vision. God is giving you this calling. God will provide. You keep showing up. Those days that are hard, you wash them off. Okay, you drink your tea, do whatever you need to do to get, but the next day you wake up and you do it again because you're doing what God is calling you to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had because I was so, I'm like, yo, that is right there, absolutely, and
Mhm.
that is such a great example. Yeah, your friends and your family, those are the ones that are always gonna support you at the end when they see that you're popping. But in the beginning, the majority of your clients are gonna be people you don't even know. And
Mhm.
that's just the way it is, you know? So don't take it personal. Just understand that this is just the way it is. But continue to show up, continue to I just love that, Crystal. I just had to like interrupt you real quick because I had to highlight on that.
And
That
another
is
thing
so
that's
powerful.
is a grateful journal. Because about 3 years ago, I was like stuck in this discouragement. And I started doing a grateful journal. I was like, I'm going to be purposeful and every day finding something good that has happened.
Love that.
And I tell you, too many things are happening for me to record because after I go back and I'll be like, oh, I forgot to add this, I forgot to add this, that happened, I forgot to add that happened. And I'm gonna turn it into a book,
Ooh.
because I feel like that is being grateful is the source of our joy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible says that
Destiny.
the joy of the
You
Lord is
cannot
our
have
strength.
you cannot have anxiety if you have gratitude, Destiny.
That is
Come
so
on, man.
true.
That part. And I will not allow anxiety to take over my life, take
There you
over
go.
my decisions. You ain't driving it. You ain't driving.
There you go.
Destiny.
We're gonna crash before you drive. Come on. So,
I'm
I'm
pouring
right here
into
with you,
your
sister.
first
I'm right
book.
here with you. I hear you. I'm clocking it. I'm clocking it. No,
yes,
That
100%.
part.
Yeah,
You're good.
100%.
Destiny. I
yes,
just heard something. Start writing the journal for other people. There's a journal and a book, but the journal is for other people to be able to find gratefulness every single day. So even if you do a journal for 30 days of gratefulness, and every day you have a prompt for them to be able to write something different that they're grateful for, get that thing published immediately. It's a workbook, not a book, a workbook for
And
people to
Tanisha
work
Scott,
through.
who has
Uh-huh.
Testimonial Inc., doesn't she can help you with that. So
Yes.
the
But I
president of
think
WOW
Destiny
can
does it
help you.
herself. Destiny does her
yeah.
own books.
Oh, you do it yourself? Okay, there you go, girl. Then
And look here, since you brought that up, Crystal. I just had a meeting last week with a book publishing company, and she doing me a deal with 2 books. So she was like, she said, what you have now, we can just start with that. And she said, when you're ready for it to do your 3rd book, we can add it to this. So come on now
Oh
here.
that
yes,
Everybody will go.
yes.
come on.
I'm telling
You
you,
can
I
even
see
put something
something
on
with
there
that.
like anxiety and gratitude cannot coexist. If you want to kill anxiety, be grateful every day. This book is going to help you stay on your gratefulness so you cannot allow anxiety to enter. Something like that.
Yes,
But that could be a way to
yes,
sell the book, because
yes.
anxiety and gratitude cannot coexist. You cannot have anxiety if you're grateful for the moment. You just can't. So
Okay.
that's
Come on
awesome.
now. Thank y'all for these nuggets because I'm going to use them.
You're
So
welcome.
All I
guess
know
what,
is I'm rooting
ladies?
for all you ladies. All you ladies.
What was that,
Guess
Marlene? I
what it
couldn't hear
is?
you. What'd she say? What
She
you say,
said
Marlene?
she's grateful for all of us.
Oh,
Yes.
Marlene, I am grateful for you and your heart, honey. You're such an
You
amazing heart. I
you are.
She
absolutely love you.
is.
Yes, you
Hmm.
are. And you are
She's been
encouraging me.
rocking with us. She went through the whole leadership program. She got 3 certificates, and
What?
now she's going through the Kaleidoscope program. She's
You
going to be
go,
able to
girl.
say that she went through all the programs. There's only
I
one more
love
light
that.
left, and that's the Dream Light program.
You go,
So,
girl.
oh, and the wings. So I guess there's 2 more, but we're going to get there. Y'all, guess what? Give
Is
yourself a pat on the back because y'all have made it through the first 6 weeks. You're halfway mark
my God.
through the Kaleidoscope program.
Come on, girl.
Yay! Are y'all ready for March 26th, where we all meet up again with all of the instructors, all of the ladies that have come and poured into you ladies? And we're going to have some surprises for you. Surprises that I can't talk about today, but surprises
March
that are coming.
26th from what time to what time? Let me put it
It's
on my
going to
calendar
be in the
right now.
evening. It's 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
I know Natalie probably won't be able to be in person. So, what we're going to do is have her on via Zoom. I will not be on class that day in Bible study that day because I'll be actively at the event. But yes, it's going to be exciting. And for anybody else that can't make it in person, let me know so we can get you a Zoom official link so you can still be a part of the room, a part of it. You still are required to look really cute, and because it's officially your graduation type thing. We're about to come up into the weeks of marketing. We have creative spark. Y'all have so many more things planned for you guys, and for you all that are looking to self-publish a book. If you didn't know, I'm just going to put this nugget out here. Y'all saw my book, right? Everybody saw my book? Let me see
It's
if I
beautiful.
have it. I don't know if it's going to show it to you. This entire
Oh,
book, and I can't take it off of my thing. So,
There you go, Crystal.
anywho's,
Yeah, we come
look,
on. That's
there it
there you
beautiful.
go.
is.
There you go.
I can get my
There.
copy.
Let me see if
Mine's on the way.
Feels
it's
so
on the
good.
way. But do y'all know that I designed the book cover with AI? My chapters, I went to ChatGPT and I told ChatGPT, act as a ghostwriter and ask me questions about things that have happened in my life so that you can help me to put together my book. And it asked me all the right questions. And I did not type it all. I talked because it's something about me telling the story. I can speak it, but writing it was hard. So I spoke it and then it formatted it for me. And then I said, I knew what, like the deliverance, I had the key points that I wanted it to talk about with deliverance. And I
Mhm.
said, these are the scriptures that I wanted to make sure that it was referenced in there. So it went through and did it all for me. And then I told it, put it and format it for KDP in a 6x9 so that I can print it out. And it did the entire book. And then I went to kdp.amazon.com and they published my book for me. Now, I also went through a publisher, but when I found out that my books was going to be almost $9 per book to buy, I bought my first set from him and I went ahead and self-published and did a special edition version of my book so that it's different. And in the special edition version of my book, it's the same book, it's just a different format.
Look at
So
there.
it's something
That's
different and it's
amazing.
bigger. It's a little bigger. So I'm
Mhm.
charging more, $3 more for the book that I'm getting through my thing, but my books are only $4 per book versus 8, almost 9. So my retail cost is $4 per book, and then I have them on sale on KDP for $20. So any sales that I get is after it's 40% of for after the book costs. So the book cost is $3.40. So, or four, you might as well say $4. So $15 is my profit in the 40% of the $15. So I don't have to do anything. It's already out there. So if you're looking for a way to get your book, I know we could go through other people, but we also have to learn, what if you don't have the money to go through somebody else?
Right.
And if that's the gateway that's keeping you from being able to do it yourself, how do you think these other people were able to publish? They learned how to publish. They learned how to do it themselves. But if you feel like I still need somebody to walk me step by step, there is Testimonial Inc. Tanisha Scott, and I can get you her information. She actually will be speaking Creative Spark. So that's the thing that she'll probably be talking about. But also there's Megan. What is Megan's last name, Destiny? Do you
Pinkney.
remember? Pinkney. With, what is the name of our
Joseph
publishing company?
Ministries
Joseph.
LLC.
Yes, yes. That's another one. And then I went through Total Publishing. So there's 3 publishers that you could go through. Now, the publisher that I'm going through, he got my book in Walmart, it's in Amazon, it's at Target, it's in Netherlands, in Germany, it's all over the world. So my book is like literally trending in other countries right now. Wow. So I don't even know what the royalties are going to look like. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm just here being obedient to what God has told me to do. But when you start to think about where you are, don't allow people to stop you. AI is now the thing of the future, and it is the way that you can do stuff. Don't be scared of it. Use it for your advantage. It says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. So if the wealth of AI is out there, why would you not, as a righteous person, partake in it and use it for good instead of evil? Now, if you're using it for the wrong reasons, it ain't going to work anyway.
Right.
But if you're using it for the right reasons, it will work and it will be great.
Yes. Crystal, can I share on in the chat our next event for 918 She Connects? Because that's a networking event and it would help. It's a lunch. We do it from 12 to 1:30. And so it's a networking event. We give away raffles and gifts and stuff like that. But really, it's for you to connect with other local women that are in business, or whether they're new in business, already been years in business, or they even work for companies. Like we have people that work with Bank of Oklahoma, the VP of Region Bank always comes out. So there's a lot of different ways to connect. I mean, it's a great way to plug yourself in the community. So I can put on the chat our next event. Here, I'm going to put it in here for you girls. I'll share the location, the time, the place, and the dates here. Can you guys see it? It says Casa Amigos Mexican Grill, 8922 South Memorial. Does it show?
Yes. I'm going to also add you, Abby, to our group me.
Okay.
So that you can post things in there as well.
Okay. Marlene, you can't see it, honey?
March 4th. Okay. Because I'm like, when is it? March 4th.
Yeah, it's March the 4th from 12 to 1:30 at Casa Amigos. It's free for you guys to attend. You know, you just pay for your food and just come with business cards. If you guys already have your flyer of your services, bring those as well. If you don't have one and you want to create one for that day, that'd be great. I always think it's important to have like a flyer with your business card, because a flyer is going to promote your service, or a brochure is going to promote your services. If you just give people a business card, a lot of times they just have a deck of business cards, but if unless they know exactly what it is that you do, they don't even reach out, you know? So I always say, like, if you have your flyer or a brochure with your business card, that would be really good.
Yes. So 12.
All right, ladies, y'all got work to do. And this time, your homework, of course, make sure you speak with your buddies, but your homework is to drop in the chat your goal for the week. Drop in the group me. Drop in the group me what your goal is for the week so we can hold each other accountable. And Marlene, you get to pick the next person who is going to do the motivation for the week.
I pick Natalie.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna let her know. She already dropped off the line. So make sure you let her know that she's the motivator for the week.
Okay.
All right, ladies. I hope you enjoyed today. I pray that your dreams, your aspirations start to come through. Hey, I have not heard from Delilah and Regina. Can you guys come off mute and say at least hi before we close out?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Hey, lady. I know we'll talk soon. So,
Okay.
keep in touch with your buddy, and you ladies, we will see you next week. Regina, did Regina already leave?
I think so, yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you,
All right, thank
Crystal.
you. It's
Have a
great
good
All
talking to
right,
you.
one.
thank you, ladies. I will
Thank you,
see
Wonderful.
y'all
Abby.
next month
Forget
or next week. Next week, not next month. Next week. Next week. Oh, the bake sale is this Saturday. So please come
yes.
out and participate if you can. If not, I understand. But if you can, we have lots of goodies and we have giveaways as well. So make sure you come and get some of the giveaways.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Now,
Bye.
Crystal.
Uh-huh.
So when we come at 10 o'clock, are we going to be wrapping up all of the goodies, individually
No,
wrapping them?
they'll get
So
to
how?
pick them, and as they pick them, that's when we'll give them to them. We have bags, we have little things to put them in, so they get to
Okay,
choose
good.
whatever they
Okay,
want to put in the bag,
and
depending on
then
what they bought. So they'll
okay,
pick their
cool.
goodies, and then our biggest thing when you come is setting up like the displays and make sure
Yeah.
that people understand what's going where. I have little teddy bears. Um, I have pencils. I have little heart things. I have bags and gift bags and all things and tablecloths and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. And then
Okay.
tomorrow I'm cooking. I'm doing my food.
Yeah, I got my cookies, and then I got to go pick up the cake that this other lady making. I got to call
I gotta
Reasons
call
tomorrow.
Maria and make sure she give me the sweetheart cinnamon rolls. So I need to
I got to
reach out
call
to her
Reasons in
tonight
Walmart
after
tomorrow.
Bible study. But girl, I got Bible study in 4 minutes. So
All right, see ya.
I'll see you.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.